Okay, good day. So this is a project called Codebase Coroner. Essentially, it allows you to have a map of each code base that you are in and just understand the repository without necessarily having to scour file by file. And I wanted to do this project because I'm a student who was doing an internship recently, and we had like some legacy code bases, and sometimes it's difficult for you to understand them. And we do have AI assistants now, so you want to use those AI assistants. But before you can use them, you want to have like an understanding or context of the code base. So this is what this does. So it allows you to paste in a GitHub link here, and then as you saw me copy that from my GitHub, and then after that, so you can centralize here. After that, it briefly explains what the code base does. So this is for my research for AI and ML papers. As you can see here, tells you how many files are there, how many functions, imports, and then any other architectural signals that are there. And then you can go further or deeper. Sorry. You can just use this to center and use this to minimize and that to zoom in on the canvas. And then you can click a specific file. So when you click a specific file, it then specifies to tell you what that specific file does. And the explanation is rooted in lines of code that you can then visit. And then it tells you, so this hotspot score is just how important the file is for the repository. Also gives you the functions as well as classes, whatever else that you want to be able to see. And then you can have a then further breakdown in terms of what the function itself does, what the function returns, what it might raise, what it calls, where it is used. And then again, you see, so this allows you to understand the code base at a much faster pace, but you might want to ask some questions then. So like for example, in this question, you can say where is authentication handled? So this system doesn't have authentication currently. So you'd be expecting to say that there is no, right? So there's nothing. So you want to add a feature, you want to understand where is it handled, right? You can change and ask different questions as well. And then it will explain to you like what's the entry point, right? If I want to change the point of entry, you can also do an impact analysis to say if I change this file. So after you have an understanding what is affected, then this one is telling you weekly update.py will be affected, and then you say why, and then it tells you that they're connected by one hop on this line, and this file is imported by this one. So you can see that as you change a file that is a hotspot. So files that are hotspots are files where, say, if you were to change them, a lot of things would be affected, right? So for example, like this one is a lot. So for the affected definitions to affected packages. So now you have a better understanding of something in terms of the blast radius if you were to change. And then for having errors, what you can do is you can actually come in here and paste an error. So I'll just have to load the demo for this one. You can come in here and paste an error, or you can just capture an execution trace. So capturing an execution trace allows you to like follow what's happening, right? So this is an error that we're facing, right? This is the most specific failure location observed, not an assumed cause, right? So the last stake frame reaches checkout.py. So it's like, okay, what happened here? You can then do play, and then play shows you function by function calls, returns up until the point of failure if you want to follow it. And then here it will be moving through as well, right? And then you can do steps as well if you want. So if you restart and then you do step, you can do the steps yourself, or you can pause. Then you can see that now we're within money.py because it's now indicated, right? And then you also see does it reach the map path, all these things. And then we're using Docker so that now when we have this context, we see what within this error, these are the two files that are affected. Can I then generate a scoped patch? So this goes to your AI assistant, and it just then gives it the context of these two files. So as you can see on this one, this is review only, so there's no automatic patch that's done. So as you can see, it says git checked and corrected this patch in 4 attempts. Patch cannot be applied, corrupt patch at line 32. So up until the line is verified, or the patch is verified within a sandbox environment, in this case Docker, is not applied. So I think this is the basic these are the basics of what Codebase Coroner does. And then you can also paste an error here that's not here. So this is just for demo purposes. But if you have like a repository, you can paste an error and then map the trace and then do again the following of what's happening.